Of course, one of the best corners of the entire event. Thank you, gentlemen. And with that, LFY and Newbee will be heading into this next game, where right now Newbee is 1-0, and as was mentioned, they've had a lot of struggles and criticisms throughout the year, but they are in absolute stunning form. But let's not forget that they're up against LFY, the winningest team at this tournament thus far. We're going to head into game number 2. Neither team facing elimination, but they are one series away from the grand finals. Let's go into game 2.
Dude, that's Earthshaker.
Yeah, that's Earthshaker right there.
I think he's Pudge as well.
Yeah, he's Pudge. He's Earthshaker.
So weird.
He's they.
Alright, let's see if we switch it up. Let's see if the Lich is coming out.
Death Prophet again, insta-banned.
What did they pick for 5 last game? For LFY?
Dazzle?
Question?
Oh no, they had like...
No, it wasn't Dazzle.
It was Lich. They did something pretty cool, I think. They picked Night Stalker Lich first too, and then last they decided to make this Night Stalker Corn, which I think...
Well, one of the most common first picks in the entire tournament goes straight to LFY. It's going to be Night Stalker. Newbee.
They're really confident in this Bloodseeker.
At first you don't succeed?
Same stuff, huh?
Yeah.
So I feel like last game, that Reaver pick was what really made their draft wonky. Because I felt like if they're going to pick an Earthshaker, they might as well just pick Earthshaker and wait with their carry. And this Bloodseeker is just way too fast and didn't have enough stuns for him.
I think they were trying to like conceal it. They were trying to like, they weren't sure if this Night Stalker was going to be a core or support, so they wanted to keep that open. They kind of forced this Weaver to be picked there, which I'm not sure, like that's a pretty hard Weaver game to be picked into. Even against Bloodseeker, it's not that easy. He has a silence, an AoE silence. Against Earth Spirit, he has 2 stuns, or stun and silence.
I mean, he just doesn't really do that much damage. You need so many different items. You have to go, for the most part, you get some defensive item like a Dragon Lance or a Linken's. Then you build a DPS item, but you don't have attack speed. Like this hero just feels like it always lacks something.
They're not good at that stuff, you know. They don't do this. They pick Super's hero, and it's his hero. Like, you know, doesn't matter. They shouldn't like change their style too much and try to do some EG like slash R stuff like where they debate the hero.
Yeah.
Like, they just go. Like they should just pick what they think is good, and that's it.
Yeah, that's what they did with the Night Stalker, though. That's what you're mentioning in the beginning, right? They were doing the Night Stalker Earthshaker. They were trying to swap it around and make it a little bit more confusing. Yeah, but I feel like they just outthought themselves.
Yeah, I agree, because they end up having this Reaver, and this Reaver actually just doesn't want to play the game at one point.
So at this point in the draft, I think that up to Dazzle, it was literally the identical picks and bans in the identical order.
Yeah.
From the first match. The Dazzle pick previously was on the Newbee side.
Yeah, I mean, this is just going to be a highly contested hero just because DDC plays it really well as well. I thought Newbee had a good read of that situation.
Like, Newbee actually likes the second pick, you know? They want the sniper matchup against Dusa. They want the core, the late game winning hero, the last pick. They like Dire. Like, everyone else, they like first pick. Almost everyone else likes first pick, maybe not VP. And so far, Radiant has also been the most popular as well. And they're going to stick by this, it seems. Like, they're going to be Radiant first pick, and Newbee's going to be second pick Dire.
Usually when you're in that position, when you're second pick and you get to last pick your core hero, that hero has to pretty much carry you. Like, that hero is meant to just win you the game. Whereas when you're first pick, it's a bit of a different situation just because you have to reveal pretty early on what kind of core you want, and you're not going to get the ideal matchup. So I don't think there's a huge reason that you have to wait till the end. Because it's not like you're going to get anything better. You're going to have to pick it 4th or 5th anyways, and they're going to be able to see what their core.
But I don't think they should pick it 3rd like they did last time.
Yeah, agreed.
I think they always pick the 11th hero, Inflames hero early, and same with the other LGD team, you know, they just pick his hero early, and he does well anyway. I don't feel like you need to conceal it too much. Same with the 4th position players, you know, they just do what they gotta do. You know, they don't need this delay, you know, delay for the carries and the mids, you know, the new players.
There was a time on Planet Odd in DC where I remember we used to have this idea that we needed to pick our offlane hero later to see what the carry matchup was going to be. And we had this idea and we're like, we can't give our offlaner a bad hero. And then at some point Misery said, all offlaners are essentially the same hero. There's some kind of stun, doesn't matter what kind of stun they are. You're never going to get an ideal matchup. It doesn't really matter. You don't have to win this 1v1. All that matters is you pick a hero, it stuns, it serves the same purpose throughout. You can pick it early on, it won't make any difference in the draft.
Yeah, basically you can rely on it to do its role. At a certain point in this game, like that offlaner will do what it needs to do to win a game. Like it can stun somebody, it can set up stuns, create opportunities.
I mean, it depends on the patch, right? Some patches you might want some last pick Brute Motor, you might want some Tide Hunter that's gonna destroy the lane. You might want some Enigma who's gonna win the game. But so far right now, it seems like the Chinese are owning it. They're just picking Shaker. They're just Bat Rider. He's getting stacked against a horrible matchup. It doesn't matter.
You still get your timing. It doesn't seem to slow things down at all. It's going to be your 4 position anyways that plays more of that roaming role. So you have space on the map to farm anyways.
I really like Newbee's bans, I think. They identified this Dazzle with the carries, so they're trying to ban out these carries that sort of with Dazzle have a good combo going, and I think those 2 heroes are actually pretty good versus Bloodseeker as well. So they've identified what they wanted to do pretty well here.
I mean, if you're Mugi and you know that things are a little bit flexible, are you saying this is fine Bloodseeker game, let's just continue to wait for SEC's hero?
I really, unless it's like completely, like let's say, unless they pick Dragonite or something like that, I really think the most likely this Bloodseeker will be going to the safe lane, and they're going to stick with their last picking SEC's hero.
Yeah. I mean, they'll swap it up with Captor, right?
Yeah, if they force this Bloodseeker where they think, okay, this Bloodseeker goes mid against this DK, that's good for us, then they'll do that. If they think they can find a Mugi hero that will also win the game.
How do you feel about this Sven versus Bloodseeker matchup? Like, I feel like they should use a Nice Doctor Vision to just hit, like, stun this Bloodseeker at one shot.
Yeah, I think it's not like a one-to-one. Not sure if it's a one-to-one.
I mean, just Rupture and stuff, you know, it's a very annoying matchup. But I feel like it can work for this Sven.
Yeah.
Because last game they had this Reaver and I don't know what he's doing. You know, he hits the Bloodseeker 4 times and the Bloodseeker's like, oh, you're dead now.
Warlock making his second appearance. He's in VP's draft.
Yeah, I haven't seen this hero that much. Has Newbee ever picked it? I can't feel like I remember.
Not in this tournament, I believe.
They have some extremely strong teamfight heroes though right now.
Ooh. Oh, that's a good hero against Bloodseeker, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, the Vision game right now is firmly in LFY's favor.
Yeah, this is what it's looking like. It's looking like Newbee wants to have the ability to team fight, and then now it's looking like LFY wants the ability to use Vision to force an uneven fight.
Last pick. That's a pretty good counter to Beast.
And we've seen Bristleback have a big variety of outcomes in this tournament, kind of just dependent on how well his early game farm goes. When he gets some, he's just amazing. I mean, yesterday we saw Bristleback and Leshrac having combined 95% of damage in all team fights. But then we also saw Mind Control struggle to get farm with Bristleback, and it was essentially like it was a 4v5.
Yeah, because the downside of this hero is oftentimes it's going to go to the off lane and you don't have a stun or anything like that, so you need an extremely good laning phase. Like this hero needs to run you over. That's why Liquid picks it with Coddle so much, because then they have 3 frontliners or 2 frontliners, and they just have a lot of... The team fight doesn't really matter then. If you just send this Bristle forward, you get him to tank everything, then you don't really need an initiation. It's a little bit more like you can have something that counter-initiates, like the Coddle. In this instance for Newbee, it's going to be the Warlock.
Just wondering if LFY is like sort of identifying they might need some deep push, because what it's looking like is that... Sven, you think?
There's a Bristol and a Bloodseeker.
Yeah.
Warlock, and they have Beastmaster, Nice Doctor Vision.
Oh, Clinks.
I think they're kind of committed at this point to sort of spreading out fights and like having the ability to fight an uneven fight. Because I don't think, looking at this lineup straight up, that they don't really want to engage in a complete 5v5 situation. They want to like be able to pressure a tower on the opposite side of the map and force somebody to go there, and then quickly react to the other pressure. Like if Bristle is like playing really aggro, they want to force someone to go to the opposite side and then go on this Bristle.
And I mean, we've talked before about the idea, you know, looking at LFY's lineup. With their last pick, should they try to hedge this position and try to fill in this gap, or do you think they should drive even harder in this focus of spreading out, splitting, and really avoiding the big team fight?
They're not going to have a favorable matchup right now for the mid lane, so I think they need something that will just complete their idea, their lineup in their minds. Like, what do they really need to like survive this? Because I think this Warlock and Bristle are going to go to offlane together. I think this Bloodseeker might just solo versus Beast. I don't think that's a favorable matchup, though. That's the one thing I'm questioning right now.
The
Maybe
one not
it is.
favorable for?
I'm thinking it's probably Beast favored, but at the same time, I think Bloodseeker could be fine.
Oh, Beast versus Bloodseeker?
Yeah. I think,
Bloodseeker's just the king, right? But
Yeah.
it's not the best matchup for him, but he still is going to win it.
yeah.
Something interesting, by the way, I think we were talking about it on the bus, is that it doesn't feel like the 3 big Chinese teams here pick a lot of wave clear.
Yeah.
Like instant wave clear. And I'm noticing that because normally if this were a Western draft, at some point in this game, you'd see something that had really fast wave clear just so you could make plays, but it really doesn't feel like either of these teams prioritize it too heavily.
Queen of Pain banned out by LFY. Queen of Pain has been one of the most reliable neutral picks, as PPD said, when you're unsure what to do.
I was gonna say something about Storm because I think they're fully committed to this idea. Like they have a Beast and then they have a Night Stalker and they have this Clinks. So they need some sort of person that will be showing on waves and clearing waves out fast and creating opportunities for these heroes to actually kill heroes. Like Storm is pretty. I wouldn't say it's like a completely free Storm game. You can still die in some cases, but if he ever sees like an Earth Spirit on the map, then he's pretty safe.
Yeah.
It looks pretty free so far, right?
Yeah.
Like Night Stalker, Dazzle,
Yeah.
Beastmaster.
Like infinite vision from Night Stalker and
Invisible
Beastmaster.
Like ideally, the way I look at it is, yeah, it's a free Storm game, but I can see like if they pick something here, maybe it'll make them scared to show on the map. As a Storm player,
I'm just scared for his lanes right now. Like other than that, I feel like if the lanes don't go too bad for him, he should be fine.
I mean, he's gonna have help with the Night Stalker, and Dazzle can always TP in. Clinks will start rotating early on.
what does SCC want to play here? What do you think?
He needs to stomp this matchup. Like, I think from the laning phase on.
I would say Lina's not good in this kind of thing, even though he'll do well in the lane. Say
Lina, my heart.
Sniper might be kind of meh.
No, and you don't sniper again.
Yeah, you don't sniper. So what does he want?
We'll see now.
Pugna. So these guys are basically fully committed to their idea of 5-banning. These guys are fully committed to their idea of dodging, taking uneven fights. It's going to be pretty interesting.
Going to be a lot of pressure on Clinks and Storm Spirit to capitalize on the vision provided by the rest of their team. And Newbee, powerhouses in the team fight. Newbee leads the series 1-0. Let's send it to the casters to find out if we're going to go to Game 3.
Thank you very much, Sean. And indeed, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Game 2 at the Winners Bracket Final. LGD Forever Young against Newbee. We've got a Pugna, folks. I know you're
We have a Pugna. I was waiting for you to mention it.
What do you think about it? As sort of Arteezy said, two very different styles, apparently.
Absolutely.
Group up and go from Newbee and a bit of a split up, take them apart from LFY.
It's very clear cut, yeah. The panel said it, but you look at LFY's lineup, and yeah, they're just trying to play around their vision, take fights when they're at an advantage, rather than fighting versus this heavy team fight lineup, because they picked Earth Spirit and Warlock right there off the bat. LFY identified, they're like, no, we don't want to be running head into them head-to-head. So they wanted to take fights around that vision and take it to later stages so Super get out of control, and the Storm Spirit and the Clinks, all that maneuverability can be pretty hard because it's going to be a lot of the weight on the Earth Spirit's shoulders to actually lock those guys down unless Newbee's able to just group up and go for that death ball, because Bloodseeker Pugna is also a different monster. It's a Blood Rage Pugna in some of those situations when you're going to be pushing. If they see the good chance for it, of course.
I mean, talk to me about these two heroes that I feel we have not seen that much here at TI. The Clinks and, of course, the Warlock sneaking in for the second time. Why have we not seen more of these heroes, and what makes them good in this matchup?
Well, Warlock's got nerfed a bunch, of course, because of how dominant the hero was during Kiev, etc. But this time they have the Earth Spirit. It's just a great combination with that one. It's got like a sustain hero as well for their push, which we identified that Newbee's trying to do. And then we're looking at the Clinks for LFY. They're just trying to go for that hard-to-kill hero who's very elusive, get into the back lines, and kill those big initiators, and just play solely around vision. That's all I'm seeing from LFY's lineup.
And I mean, if Newbee do get this sort of push going early on, do LFY have really the potential to stop it? I mean, the panel talked about how a lot of these teams do draft a bit of a lack of wave clear, and that certainly is apparent from LFY's draft. It feels like if Newbee do get the edge early on and start to push down these lanes, it's going to be very hard for LFY to put a stop to.
Absolutely agree with you, Owen. That could be a big concern for LFY. If a Newbee comes off to a good start, if they get the lane matchups that they want, and they're able to snowball through, be able to group up with a very tanky Bristleback in the front line with Pugna blasting, and they have these two heavy ultimates, they could just keep forcing LFY back. So LFY is going to have to do a good job of splitting the map up, but they do lack that wave clear.
And I think, if anything, that's sort of maybe Newbee looking back at the first game. As we saw, game one, they had really good lanes. They were doing incredibly well in the CS, and then it just got to that point where LFY grouped up and started fighting, and they had the superior coordination. So this is Newbee saying, we can win the lanes, and now we have the potential to push it and take advantage without giving LFY that sort of chance in the mid game.
Yeah, looks like LFY got the lanes that they wanted to. They got the Clinks versus the Bloodseeker matchup, instantly TP's toward bottom. Doesn't want to be placed versus a dual lane. So KP's going to make his way top to match up versus the Clinks as they wanted. Kaka getting some pressure on him here from Poison Touch and Monet, but should be fine to get back to the tower.
And you sort of agree with the panel as they were saying about this sort of Bloodseeker Beastmaster matchup, that the Bloodseeker will come out on top, but it's not a lane that the Bloodseeker is going to dominate.
Yeah, it's Bloodseeker versus Beastmaster with the Boar can be obnoxious because he can keep distance from you, but the fact that Bloodseeker just has like infinite sustain in the lane, and if the other lanes get pressured, the Thirst just starts kicking in. That hero has ridiculous base damage too.
And we saw there, Faith just fatal bonding the creep wave and Inflame.
Trying to push the wave in as best as possible to get that side pull, but Inflame able to actually grab that wave. Really important for this Beastmaster to do that there. If he doesn't get denied all that farm.
Nice little deny in his own wall there as well, making sure that that XP doesn't go the way of Newbee. And the mid lane matchup, of course, yeah, as I say, a bit of a fan of the Pugna. How do we expect to see this one go down?
Storm can do fine in this matchup, but Pugna can pressure with any rotations pretty hard. You're pretty susceptible to kills because you have to walk up as a Storm Spirit, while Pugna has a clear range advantage and can harass you more with the blast. First few levels, Storm farm, but yeah, if Kaka makes rotations in, that's easy kills on Super. Here we go, coming out.
Yeah, the Decrep setting up for the rolling for Kaka. Super incredibly low.
Still only level 1 on the Earth Spirit, so unable to fully clean him up, but forcing a salve, forcing it back, and this is pressure they're causing on a separate lane from the Bloodseeker, so the thirst starts to kick in and he gets more of an advantage. We'll probably see the Warlock get out of that bottom lane and try to maximize.
CS in the mid lane, just a slight edge for SCCC at the moment.
A couple more levels and it becomes harder and harder for Storm. Storm will have to resort to jungle whenever that Earth Spirit's off the map.
I guess that's the thing about this mid lane matchup as well, isn't it? Once Super does resort to the jungle, you can, as LFY, expect to take a lot of harassment and damage onto your tier 1 very early on.
Yeah, that's one of the best things about playing Pugna in this mid lane. You're kind of squishy and everything, but every time that mid laner leaves, you're gonna chunk that tower down so fast. And actually use it to decrepify just to annoy Super for missing a CS. Rotation from Apu. He's got Arcane Rune. They don't have kill, but he's just gonna try to threaten him a bit.
And Kaka's also in the neighborhood, just in case things get a little too scary for SCCC. We'll roll in. Just driving Apu away from the gang.
Faith doesn't actually have a better place to go at the time being, so just gonna stay bottom, try to keep pulling the side over and over again.
And to be fair, it's working. Looking at this bottom lane, because of Faith's control of the lane, it's giving this Bloodseeker this beautiful start. You know, once again, Mugi, 20 to 5 on his CS compared to the 8 for 2 on Inflame. So the pressure of this dual lane working out perfectly for Newbee in this laning stage.
Yeah, and with an advantage, with the laning advantage, he can 1v1 versus the Beastmaster. But Faith doesn't have a better place to be at the time being, so. And as soon as he does leave, then that's where the Night Stalker may make rotations in. So we're going to see Nighttime kicking in soon, and we're going to watch how Apu wants the pressure. This top lane is already won for LFY.
I mean, massively won as well. Crystal being forced all the way back to base because of the harassment from these two. So both offensive dual lanes certainly doing the work and getting the job done in terms of zoning back those of the opposite side. In lane, Apu just coming in for a bit of harassment there onto Kaka. Still not quite the levels to go in for more.
Yeah, they can't threaten with Storm. Not 6. There's no way you can get kills with that. Inflame starting to chase out Faith. Summons up the boar, but Faith does have a TP, so they do try to chase this one out. Could TP out without the Night Stalker. Might be forced to use it though. Night Stalker starting to make rotation and Faith may get caught here by Apu's rotation with this boar slow. Starting to add up.
Does just have the level 1 Void though. Mugi is there as well if they want to try and turn it around. And indeed, there's the self-heal. Blood Bright's down immediately. Yeah, LFY have to scatter. Faith will be okay for now. Top lane again though, KP. Taking heavy harassment. We can see on his CS really suffering here as DDC and Monet playing the lane perfectly. 23 CS on the Clinks, only 6 on the Bristle.
Kaka wants to make a play on the mid before Storm hits 6. Trying to go in right away, refills SCCC's bottle. They're going in, they have the stun if they want to try, but Apu's rotation coming in. Kaka could be in some trouble here.
Yeah,
getting turned upon.
Bursting him down low there with the passive, and they'll get the kill. First blood. Picked up there. Again, just the reactions of both of these fours towards this mid lane. A lot of attention, and as we saw it there, LFY coming out on top.
Super's got to be pretty happy there. Not even level 6 and picking up a kill. Pretty decent start for the Storm Spirit.
I'm very close to having that 6 as well. And as you say, as soon as he has that, this mid lane becoming that little harder to gank. They have to make sure they hit that stun or silence from the Earth Spirit first, rather than relying on the roll in the same time. Bottom lane, Fairy Fire, not going to be enough. Mugi and Faith moving with the fatal bonds and the chase down from Mugi. Also secure themselves a kill and really keep Inflame behind. At the same time though, mid lane SCCC actually able to take down Super before he quite got his levels.
About to be 6, but gets, SCCC gets to level 6 first. So Decrep Blast and you just get Life Trade. If you have Vision, of course you do because it gives True Sight, you just kind of get killed out quickly from it.
We'll see if they can do anything about this. The roll's going to miss. Apu should be fine as he flaps his way out of the Roche pit. Not quite the control there they required from the Earth Spirit. I mean, even with it, it's still a fairly tanky Night Stalker, even though he is just a level 2 or such.
Look at the
this stage.
emphasis on the mid lane to defend SCCC. 2 wards being placed out in the first nighttime there. Kaka getting chased up. He's got a little bit of that minus armor from that ancient creep too, it's looked like.
Should be funny cam roll out. It'll kick off away.
And he's out.
Indeed, he's fine. Nearly level 3 here on this Night Stalker, but a lot of roaming around from Afu. Bottom lane Mugi.
Trying to go for a courier snipe here on Afu. 1, 2, it takes 3 hits though. Unable to get that one.
And look at the bottom lane as well. Inflame being kept right behind the tower here. Knows that level 6 is up on Mugi.
Early storm rotation coming in.
There's the rupture down. Bloodbright as well. Inflame trying to keep himself hidden in the tree line, but they should spot him out. Looks like he's not quite low enough to give them the vision, and now the turnaround potential is there. Super zipping forward. Afu blocking Mugi off as well for the time being.
Oh, he's trapped.
Himself out. Doesn't look like he had the heal bomb. Not quite getting the full potential there, but Mugi indeed sandwiched in the tree line will finally fall.
But now he left mid. That rotation from the Storm Spirit. Look at this mid tower. It's just going to get chunked upon by that level 4 blast.
So much damage here. I mean, DDC will come in and try and slow down the siege of SCCC, but indeed one more movement like that, and that tier 1 will be gone. Very hard for LFY to deal with this sort of pressure from the Pugner early on. They don't really quite have a hero that they could put there and on their own sort of slow down the siege of SCCC.
Yeah, they've got no, like we talked about before, there's no wave player, so trying to push him out. They have to go for, wraparound kills onto him instead of trying to slow down the siege. Clinks though, Monet having an excellent time in that top lane, kind of as we expected, versus that Bristle. Keeps forcing him back to base over and over again. KP getting heavily punished up there. Only 15 CS on that safe lane Bristle. And they've been maximizing as well, so the Dazzle's level 5. We take a look, the Earth Spirit's level 2, Night Stalker level 3, and then the other supports are already both level 5 on the side, both teams.
A bit of a dream rune there as well for SCCC as he bottles up an arcane rune, immediately making the movement towards bottom. I mean, arcane rune and Pugner, that is almost certainly a guaranteed tier 1 tower here for them.
They see the rotation coming, so Beastmaster just gets the hell out of there, knows he can't slow this down at all. This tower's dead.
I mean, look at this, every 4 seconds, a huge amount of
They've got Roar though for top. KP definitely gonna get brought down easily. Heal bomb on top of the Clinks with Death Pact. But Newbee doesn't look like they want to stop. They've got Blood Rage, they've got Arcane Rune Pugna too, so they're just gonna continue sieging down bottom.
Now, LFY at least looking to find the tier 1 trade, but it is certainly getting to that point where Newbee can group and go with this. But LFY, they may have a good chance in the fact that they have shut KP down so much, and Newbee, they do sort of rely on having that Bristleback to be the front liner for these five-man pushes, and he is nowhere near the state that they need this Bristle to be able to just go head first.
They have a couple ancient stacks though, so he does have the road to recovery there since he's had such a rough start. They've got a triple stack on the right side and a double stack on the left side.
I mean, just look at this, so much value from that Arcane Rune, and with the Blood Rage on Pugner as well. The push,
on you, man.
Absolutely disgusting.
That Nether Blast with the Blood Rage, just that increased damage. They're going to be able to claim this tier 2 very soon. That's going to open up a lot of the map for them. Mid lane, Kaka gets the roll off.
He does indeed. They are going to try and move in for him, but with the TP reactions, Kaka's going to be fine. Mugi coming in, does have Rupture. LFY already out of that.
And this tier 2 is dead.
It's gone. Well, and they will fortify for it.
But they're actually rotating down now. They have a ward though to see the rotation. They're going to retreat. So almost bringing down that tower, but they forced the glyph. Those type of glyphs are perfect to use because the other tier 1s, you're expecting them to die soon, so your glyph will reset. At least you'll defend that one later on. Oh, I love when Beastmaster picks up bounty runes.
Ooh. Talking about Beastmaster. I'll spot it out, KP. KP now with the level 6, a little harder to go up on, as the poor man's in the Soul Ring.
Still very shut down, but he's got the combo of not only the Ancient stacks, but they can Blood Rage him, and he can turn his back with the Close Spray. You heal up off the Ancients, and the sustain is there for you to be able to do it even if you're a bit underfarmed.
Level 6 now on the Warlock as well, so ready with the Chaotic Offering once they do start to group up again. Tier 1 actually still standing in this mid lane. I mean, this is certainly there for the taking once SCCC's back in the neighborhood. But he's sticking down bottom, does want to try and finish off that tier 2 by the looks of it before moving elsewhere. Mid lane, drop the Rupture onto DDC. They don't really want to try and go up onto this high ground. I mean, they will get the silence, but Super's there now. In fact,
Monet's there too.
Monet looking straight towards Kaka. Kaka's gone. They'll take that one to Faith with the carry off, and then drops it onto 3. Fatal Bombs is there as well. Now Super's got to be careful.
The quills.
KP moving forward, will be held back by the Primal Roar. Inflame turning back towards him. DDC as well with the poison touch. Monet coming back in, and they have the damage to bring down the Bristle. Bristle's gone. We'll hold here, LFY.
We've started adding up a little bit. That minus armor ticking down. Even though there's a nice fatal bond, they didn't have the follow-up. They don't have that kind of stun since Kaka got brought down very early on in that engagement from Super. I believe the Radiant Courier got picked off there at some point, though. I didn't really see what it had on it, though.
Looks like it's empty for now. The Courier down nonetheless for a couple of minutes. They'll send their Golem back in, trying to finish off this tower, but looks like they will just end up feeding it here to the side of LFY, and indeed they do. Arfu picks up an extra plus 100 from that.
And they get the tower denied.
But all in all, yeah, nice fight there from LFY, minimalizing any sort of casualty there after Newbee commit the first use of the Chaotic Offering. Alfu now heading up to the high ground, will get prepped immediately. Shadow Word upon him, as well as the Life Drain, bring him down low. Does have the backup of Faith, and in fact, Monet just turns straight towards them, trying to move in onto Faith. Monet gets ruptured, immediately TP's out. Alfu continuing to be chased down as Mugi and Kaka look to close the gap.
Their only real stun and chase is the Earth Spirit. A lot of the weight is on his shoulders to get that lockdown for his team to get the damage through. But more Ancient Stacks continue, and you know the nature of Newbee's lineup isn't really chasing and getting those kills. They want to be able to group up, use their ultimates, and take those towers. So here we go. They start clearing up one of the Ancient Stacks away from KP though. So KP's not the one who's going to get accelerated from this, which could cause him to have a pretty rough game since he is still suffering a bit on that net worth. But they're prioritizing more on Mugi, wanting him to get that blade.
They want to try and punish KP. They know he's still fairly weak at this stage. Primal Roar straight away, Super getting in position straight in front of him, and KP is gone. Clean pick off there from LFY, knowing that they're still very much in a window where they can punish this underfarmed Bristleback.
Yeah, they've got a lot of like the minus armor coming out from the Dazzle, and then the Blightstone too from Afu, who's going to be having a medallion probably soon. The minus armor really hurts. It can start adding up versus these very squishy heroes that Newbee actually kind of does have besides the Bristleback. Pugna sitting at 4 armor, same thing with Earth Spirit, Warlock as well. Pretty much only the Bloodseeker and the Bristleback who can walk in with that durability. Afu going for some scouting play, placing very deep aggressive wards that we've been seeing. Like we said, LFY's whole game, it's about that vision. As long as they can take fights and understand where they can find those windows, it's really important for them to actually play this game.
Courier may be in trouble.
Should be able to get this one with the phase boots. It's gonna be 2 hits, nice and easy.
Ready. It is down. Same time, bottom lane, LFY. Towards the tier 2. It's also obviously about the push that they're from SCCC. Super trying to zip in. But LFY themselves, they have great push as well.
Yeah.
Nearly have the Desolator on the clinch. In fact, well, it looks like DDC may be left behind as Newbee move in. They'll drop the Chaotic Offering as well onto Inflame. They're trying to go for both of these. We'll see if they get away with them here. They will get away with the Inflame kill at least as Mugi
finds a TP, Graves himself, TP's out. DDC should be able to live here actually. Nice play there.
Maybe do get the higher value killer in the form of Inflame, but
lose
still,
their tower.
That's the thing.
And that's the Golem expended as well as the Magnetize. They're 2 big teamfight abilities. And now Apu going for a wraparound behind, getting caught. It looks like he's going to clean him up right at the tier 3 tower. He's dead. Hey, just TP's out too.
And he's going to make it. No way to hold that man back there.
Playing around that vision. He sees a low Earth Spirit. He stays in the area.
Very nice little bonus pick off. And the Night Stalker.
They're doing a good job of splitting up the map and not allowing Newbee to stick together and push. Faith actually using that Golem there with Fatal Bonds to clear up that triple Ancient stack. So now there's not really great ways for KP to recover from farm. He just has to get it through fights mostly. Almost has a Vanguard though, at least, which will help him be a bit more durable, but still pretty damn squishy versus LFY's lineup.
And the push as well from LFY is certainly going to be sizable. Having that Beastmaster, the Desolator pretty much stun on Clinks. Only a couple of hundred away, and they'll have that to add to the push.
And there's already a Bloodstone now too on the Storm Spirit, and like the panel was saying, it's a pretty nice Storm Spirit game.
Alfu looks to be in trouble though. Does get caught out here. The rupture upon him. Newbee surround him. We'll take down Alfu. So if they can move in for more. They have been offensively weaved though, so you do have to be slightly careful here in the next few seconds off the back of pushing in. Tier 1's already gone, of course.
KP's trying to use this space to farm up bottom, but looks like Inflame and Super already on the prowl to find him.
He's in trouble there with the medallion upon him. Super and Inflame surrounding him. That's a Bristleback gone.
He's so squishy.
Really is. A free Bloodstone charge there for Super built up mid lane, going straight for the dazzle kill, but again with the Shallow Grave trying to escape. The Yule Scepter's there though, into the Blood Bright, he's going to be gone. SCCC picks up the kill, now they're looking to move in for more, they've got the vision.
They got him dusted up.
Onto Monet, Boulder Smash as well as the pull, nuking him down low, under the cover to Decrepify. Super's going to try and come in and help out. Monet still alive for the time being, finally drops, but the damage is done. Faith's gone. Now they can look for more. Moogie dropping down the Blood Bright, but already Super zips out of it, gets in front of him. There's the silence as well. Magnetized, ticking them down low on the side of LFY, but they will survive nonetheless, and they're the ones picking up the kills. They may even get more here as well.
So many Bloodstone charges going for Super.
And they get Kaka, that's the question. He goes for the TP out, he's not going to make it. Arfu's there with the lockdown. Super picks up a triple kill.
Newbee's unable to get that group up. I want to say that the Pugna was, did he get Blood Rage there? Because he died super fast. We'll see in a second, but it looked like maybe that ended up happening. They're just not able to get grouped up and get those fights happening that they want to. LFY is really splitting them up, and with these Bloodstone charges stacking up for Super, I mean, Panel mentioned, this is a Dream Storm Spirit game. There's only one real lockdown coming out from the Earth Spirit.
We'll see it again here, this fight. As you say, to start with, I mean, Faith, even though he does end up, DDC, even though he does end up going down, he's kind of creating the time that's required for LFY to start thinking about getting the fight going on and looking to try and turn it. Monet as well. Getting gone upon here. I mean, we're seeing as well with the Decrep, so much magical power that Newbee had to burst him down, but Super just quick with the reaction, incredibly low on the mana. But again, Inflame just doing so much with this medallion. Arfu as well being too tanky to deal with at this stage, and Super just using every little bit he can, has that Arcane Rune as well, so he can continue to go ham in this fight. It literally was the dream there for him.
Yeah, Warlock unable to get Golem off. LFY's making their vision lineup work really well around what Newbee's got. Newbee now making their way into the pit though. This is what they need. They really need Aegis to be able to force those towers. KP's just still very underfarmed. They need to find a way to get him back.
I don't know if they can get away with this though. LFY heading over. They know what's going on. The offensive weave down upon Newbee.
They've got the Hawk up too. They see the entire fight that's coming out. And yeah, like you said, the weave's starting to build up. They're going to look to go in a couple seconds once it's maxed out.
They do have that DD on Moogie, but they've got to be so careful. Their armor ticking down low.
They're still there. The threat of the Warlock Golem and the Earth Spirit spells are there right now, so they have to watch their positioning. But Monet getting in the side with that minus armor, the weave.
Moogie falling down low. Inflame comes in with the side, but the counting on figures jump straight onto the Beastmaster. Beastmaster down. Monet trying to man up. There's the Decrep holding back the Storm Spirit, but now he zips forward. Super going in onto Faith. Takes one, takes two. Double kill for Super. Now looking towards KP. The Boulder smashes out. KP turning with the Quill sprays. Still alive for the time being, but Monet, has he got the damage? He has not. They're losing too many. LFY. Monet being chased down as well. Super still around.
Kaka ran out of stones there.
They've got to get back. They have got the shrine. Roshan still alive for the time being. Newbee as well, having to back away from it. And that was the ultimates committed there from Newbee.
That almost looked way scarier there for Newbee. Kaka got, I think it was like a 3-man boulder smash into a multiple hero silence on top of the magnetize that allowed KP to get that distance and get more coils off. But you see that weave when it starts to build up. Monet, 3 or 4 shots on that Bloodseeker and almost brings him down just with that. And the way that they're separating the fights, we're talking about that vision game. They're playing incredibly well around it.
I mean, this fight is nowhere near over. It's going to get back on. Monet into the pit. Newbee without the chaotic offering though.
This Roche is so important for Newbee. They need this Aegis to deal with LFY. If Storm gets Aegis, I don't know what they could do.
Arfu's heading up the ward is down. Zip forward for Super. Zip back out. It's a little on mana now, but still 20 Bloodstone charges. It's going to be back up very shortly. His full tank. I'm looking for efficiency in fact. He's got no time to wait. We'll shrine up. Back up to maximum. KP now will go back in. Starting to slowly commit again onto Roshan. The Hawk is out there for LFY. They have the vision that they need.
They got to make sure they don't get hit by another big weave like that.
Now LFY actually wrapping around from the mid lane. Arfu in the high ground. Now roll forward from Kaka. Won't find the connection.
3-man offensive weave.
As the rupture onto the Storm Spirit. Life Train as well, forcing him back, but he has the remainder of the haste room. Will be fine. Waits it out on the high ground. Boulder Smash does connect, but they're still keeping the Storm alive. But the Dazzle there behind him. Newbee though, forcing LFY away from the pit. KP ready to head back in as the Weave's effects wear off. Arfu though on the sidelines looking to go in. The ward is down. Super zips in. They'll get the Earth Spirit. Blood Brights out. Forces LFY back. KP trying to zone back Monet and DDC on the side. The Inflame gets the Raw. Super's there to follow up. That's SCCC gone. And now LFY looking for more now. Faith wrapped around upon. Faith is going to get bursted down. Double kill for Super. 3 down on Newbee and LFY. They're not done yet. Arfu wrapping around the back, looking for more. Void and the crippling fear onto the bristleback. KP is gone. Mugi, the last remaining survivor here for Newbee, but Arfu, let me see if he can hunt it down, but they know with 4 down, they can look to go back to the pit. The death time is still relatively short though, so LFY have to be quick.
The fact that LFY can do this though into this heavy team fight lineup, the fact that they're going to get this Roche, Newbee needs this Roche for their timing. This is going to be really tough for Newbee to come back in this one with such an underfarmed bristleback when they have a ball, like a ball-up lineup.
Yeah. Just look at Super. He's
beyond godlike.
24 Bloodstone charges. We actually saw this early in the tournament. I think it was actually SCCC, wasn't it? Playing the Storm Spirit on the main stage, where he just had this game where the opponents didn't have an answer for the Storm, and he just ran away with it. And this time round, here in this winners bracket final, it looks like it may be Super's chance to do the same thing.
They're able to separate the fight just so perfectly with all the vision that they have going on, and every time that offensive weave comes out, everybody on Newbee just has to kind of hide themselves, and as soon as they see the Earth Spirit, that's the go. They know the Golem wasn't down, so they know that Kaka's the only one who can really do any of that kind of team fight for Newbee there. So Apu and the Storm Spirit beeline it there, then we see SCCC has to go around like a weird way, and he gets isolated by the Beastmaster and Storm Spirit. Just too much mobility coming out from LFY in those fights for Newbee.
Mid lane, trying to set up there with the Atos into the Rupture, but straight away going for the TP. He's not going to make it though. Boulder Smash comes through.
It's a 5-man offensive weave though.
Turn, see if they can get off with this one, and indeed they do have the grip onto Arfu. Arfu has to be careful though. They close back in. The geomagnetic grip from Kaka will finish him off. LFY still wanting to fight. Super zips in, looks for the Earth Spirit again to Crep there. Thrown out onto Kaka to keep him alive. Nice play from SCCC, making sure the Super can't finish off the kill.
Newbee's making sure to just completely group up. They've got Golem online. They still have that very strong team fight when they've got all their ultis available. And building multiple medallions. They're really trying to do with this minus armor. You can tell by the way their itemization is coming out. Blade Mail on Mugi, medallion on Earth Spirit, another medallion on KP. They need to solve that damage issue.
We'll get the deny into the tower though. And nonetheless, just taking the tears off the map. That's great news for Newbee.
LFY's trying to get a fight going here though. The weave is starting to tick up onto KP. They are smoked up on the side. Newbee still all grouped up.
Can he get this jump? Does he want to? Night Stalker is back up. Do have the full 5-man. Newbee still sort of aware that something's going on. They're going to head towards, and they will spot out the Beastmaster now, trying to move in. Silence there, but Super immediately going for the backlines. Grabs the Earth Spirit. Again, SCCC with the Decrepify, keeping the Earth Spirit alive for the time being. Super will still try and follow through and commit onto Kaka. Does get the kill, but they've lost in flame. LFY with Monet and Arfu trying to finish off KP. They'll get him. In fact, Super's the one to claim it. Triple kill for the Storm Spirit.
He's just got way too much mana to work with now at this point. It's only 24 minutes and 27 Bloodstone charges.
27, that is insane.
That feels pretty good.
I mean, again, just to harp on about what the panel said, they said this has all the setup to be a beautiful Storm Spirit game, and we're certainly seeing it in action. There's no doubt about it here.
Dazzle just looking like an absolute monster too, and just in these last 2 games. The weave, the heal, the graves, the sustain is just making these fights so hard for Newbee to actually take. Even though they have such strong teamfight heroes, they have LFY with that vision, with the Hawk, with the Night Stalker able to see where the Earth Spirit is. You just see how prioritized Super is. He's like, oh, Earth Spirit, beelines right through everybody just to get on top of him. Still has the Aegis.
And I really
under 2-3 minutes.
I really feel that's the hero that these two teams have really got to be thinking about, the Dazzle. You know, whether it be Faith or DDC bringing it into the game. Both supports just giving an incredible performance on him. Time and time again, turning the tide of the team fights down to these clutch saves, or as we've seen here, down to the vision, the big plays with the weave, consistently making sure that the armor of Newbee's ticking down, and then these sort of fights are set up where Super just zips in and cleans them up incredibly quickly on the Storm Spirit. LFY will take another tower, tier 2 down on the top lane.
I want to say he's been hitting like 4 average enemy heroes with those weaves. Yeah. It's been looking like in the majority of the engagements. Monet finishes up the BKB now. That match community is going to completely negate what the Earth Spirit can bring to the table. And next will be that Diffusal Blade, as we expect, versus the Pugna to deal with that Decrepify.
They're going to smoke up. Place down the ward, make sure they have vision control of this area, LFY. Straight away the move towards mid. KP could be in trouble. Rather close, and indeed straight away Super zipping in with a primal roar from Inflame. KP is gone.
He's so squishy.
That is your bristleback disappearing in a matter of milliseconds. It's down to this aggressive solo target potential from LFY. And that has got to be scary for Newbee. They need KP to survive at the front of their fights if they want to try and play the game that they were drafting for.
Newbee's whole timing window is gonna just thrown out the window with that Roche going toward out to LFY. They now don't really have that group up mechanic, and this is where the vision games start to become more and more useful for LFY. They can just start to suffocate the map from Newbee, and they have the heroes to pick people up all over the place on the sides, be it the Beastmaster Clinks, the Storm Nightstalker, any type of those two situations where Newbee splits up anywhere, they can just get easily ganked up. Aegis gets reclaimed.
Super's got a double damage in his bottle as well, ready to play with next team fight.
He's about to have a full BKB, so he's gonna have the solution to pretty much everything that Newbee can throw at him already.
I mean, is there any sort of solution in terms of certain items that Newbee can close in upon soon that can just help them against Super's reign of freedom in these team fights?
Well, they're picking up a couple things, right? They've got some more armor now. For SCC's got the plate mail, and we see KP getting that solar crest. That evasion will help a bit versus the Storm and the Clinks. But they're not able to take the fights properly just because of that vision. The Hawk and the Nightstalker reducing all of Newbee's vision in the fights. They can't find the Dazzle in the backlines. They have no way to really stop him from getting all of his spells off in these fights. And then the Storm just beelines.
Newbee again back, has 5. Moving towards that top lane, still a tier 1 and a tier 2.
They still have very strong like 5-man. If the fight just comes like straightforward, if they're just like fighting 5v5 like that, Newbee can win it, of course. But it's the fact that LFY can always just pierce that backline so easily.
Yeah, so little they can do to stop Super. Just pulling straight into their entire lineup.
BKB now finished for Super. I think the Diffusal Blade's about to be finished, is finished for Monet in a second too. So that could be their timing to go. But the pace of the game is pretty decent for them. They're probably feeling quite happy that Newbee isn't grouping up and taking tier 2s, and they're all just farming spread out. This is like the dream for LFY's lineup right now. Level 18 now on the Clinks, that max Death Pact, as well as level 20 on Storm Spirit with that extra attack speed talent. And they even pick up a gem now, so wanted to continue their lead more and more in that vision advantage.
Again, the runes are looking beautiful for Super. DD active, Arcane in the bottle, and straight away.
Through.
That's a free pick there. They've got the vision. They hunt him down. In fact, he's toying around with another one there. KP will be forced back as well. At the same time, in the mid lane, Artfu and Inflame come straight in with the Primal Roar.
It's honestly looking impossible for Newbee to do anything. They're unable to group up versus this lineup. Now the BKBs, as we were mentioning, on LFI, they're looking to threaten that high ground.
And they need to have both their supports alive. Both down for 25 seconds. This is a great opening for LFI to move in straight away. Super goes in onto KP. Does have the Lotus Orb upon him as well as the Decrep. Monet just focusing the tier 3 though. Look at this tower just get ripped to shreds. KP now having to be careful as his armor ticks down low. Silence, jump forward there from Inflame with the balls and the axes as well. Monet grabs the kill. They will lose the Night Stalker, but the BKBs are out on LFY. They're focusing objectives, and they'll get the melee racks down in the mid lane. Newbee unable to peel LFY away from this sort of push. Maybe seeing if they can punish. They're TPing into the shrine, trying to cut it off. They do get the silence of the boulder smash onto Super. Super, is he going to be fine? There's the carry off again. He dropped down. He's falling low. He's gone. Massive kill there for Newbee. Can they get more though?
Monet dies too.
As well. Does take a double kill on the way out. The both cores taken down in this fight. These are big kills, but look who's back. Super immediately respawning there with the Bloodstone charges. Looking towards SCCC. There's the Lotus Orb, but they just grab back each.
Gotta get silenced up here.
Might get taken out again. He will kill himself. But this is a lot of Bloodstone charges now gone on Super. 2 deaths in quick succession. DDC going for the grave, TP out. Will make it. No vision, no sort of chance to cancel it.
Did he recover the team's gem? He did not.
Look at the gold swing as well from that fight. This is sort of a similar fight to what we saw in game 1 when Newbee were able to sort of just shake LFY up just enough to get their cores back in a better position.
The TP from Kaka was perfect there to get in the backlines and get a stun out. He actually, I believe he missed the Magnetize, so wasn't able to spread it from during the Fatal Bonds there, but Faith got a beautiful Chaotic Offering, the stuns came out, and with that Nether Ward damage, it added up a bit versus Storm. Super, of course, respawns, but unfortunately gets Lotus Orb pulled into a Blood Right.
And all those beautiful Bloodstone charges that Super once had, knocked right back down to 13. Still, obviously, not in a bad place, but just in comparison to the power that he once had, certainly not going to be quite there anymore, and he'll feel a little less able to go too chaotic with his long-range initiations.
It hurt. At least they got the racks before that happened. Next big situation is going to be around that Roche. chaotic offering down for about 80 seconds, so Roche is going to be spawning in 40, so there'll be about 30-second
Oh, look at this mid, though.
Mid, face is mid.
Trying to go for fake. Diffuser plays there, getting through the Ghost Scepter. He's gone as well. They've lost 2
Oh my
He's
God,
gone as
that
well.
damage.
Mone's just 2 down, big at this stage. They get the grab onto Kaka. He can't escape. Ticks down to the Orchid, and now Mugi.
They don't even want to wait.
Remaining survivor here for Newbee, getting chased down. Monet moving into position on the high ground. Mugi has the BKB. He has a bit of the Shrine Heal. He's trying to make it back to the fountain. Looks like with the blade mail up, he will survive. Apu, you don't want to move whilst you got that on you, son. He's feeling confident. Knows that only the Bloodseeker's alive, though. And they're just fighting through the backdoor regeneration. Now it's gone as the creeps move in.
I think that's just the
LFY.
game. They kill these buildings so fast with Beastmaster Aura plus Blinks. And they even build Vlads on top, so heavy Aura gaming coming out from LFY on top of this.
18k gold lead. Newbee may have one last fight. If that, as you say, as it's looking pretty grim for them as LFY.
No downtime when they saw that. When they know chaotic offering is down, they just try to make that go. Newbee trying to make a last stand here. LFY, though, not forcing the issue. Don't feel like they really need to. They're probably pretty aware that Roche is going to be spawning as well, so safe place to wait for that Aegis cheese and end the game.
Absolutely, LFY looking on the verge of bringing this series to a game 3. Definitely one of those games. We sort of talk about matches such as where the Huskars last picked or something, and it feels almost like a free game. The Storm Spirit definitely having a similar effect this time round. Just that
They
that
know
pick
the
that you
smoke
can't
happened.
prepare for.
I think that the high ground ward that they have in the base may have actually caught in this one from the way that LFY is playing right now. Everyone kind of backs up and playing in very defensive positioning. Newbee going for a very desperation type play here. Trying to claim the high ground.
We did see these sort of plays work out in game 1.
Hawks coming through. It actually gets hit by a quill spray there. I don't know if LFY saw it just yet, though. But now they do see everybody as the smoke reveals. And they kill the Hawk. But now LFY's on the chase. They turn it to night. They want to fight around this Roche pit.
KP trying to bait something on the front lines, but look at this wraparound from LFY. Not quite ready to jump in. They want to get to the high ground.
Newbee needs an incredible high ground advantage.
I mean, Newbee's got to
Massive
be so
combo.
careful here how they come back into their own jungle. LFY's
Fade.
if they lose faith, there's going to be no chaotic offering for this fight. And indeed they have. He's down.
Newbee needs to run away, but their base is starting to get destroyed by
Look,
creeps.
BKB from Mono's up. He just goes straight into Fires out there onto the Bristleback, trying to keep him alive. Floatbright is down. Mugi trying to man up to Monet, but they've lost the Earth Spirit. Monet still surviving throughout this all. They've taken down 3. Turns towards Mugi, but he kills himself on the Brave Veil.
They call it, though.
Yeah, Mugi's down. It is too much. It doesn't matter that the Clinks is gone. GG is called. And LFY get themselves the win, bringing this series to 1-1. We are going to be going to a game 3. But LFY is certainly looking to be back on and hitting their stride there in that second game.
We expected this one to probably go game 3. One of these two teams very comfortable playing versus each other. But overall, this game, LFY playing incredibly well around their vision. And they got the lanes that it seems like